it was painful to have to hear my own thoughts and just to exist as myself. I felt like I couldn't take it anymore. So I went to the same school for kindergarten through 9th grade. It was a very competitive environment. I had pretty good grades, when I had work to do, I felt like it needed to be perfect from the moment that I started it. Okay was not good enough for me.
For some reason in the United States and probably around the world, we don't give permission for mental illness as we do physical illness. And so therefore kids hold on to that secret, people hold on to that secret, and they finally get to a place of exhaustion.
I started scratching at my skin, which eventually became cutting. I had a plan. I was at school. My great idea was to go to the roof and jump. And the idea scared me enough that I ended up going to school guidance counselor.
When it comes to misconceptions about suicide, people actually believe that if you bring up the word suicide or actually go to talk to an adolescent about suicide, that you can plant that idea into their head, when in fact it's quite the opposite. When you talk to an adolescent about suicide, you relieve them from so much of what they're holding on to.
So I was living in Connecticut with a whole bunch of other teens. We had different therapy groups. And then we also had art, and I realized how relaxing it could be. If you need to be calm, you can sit there making back and forth strokes. If you feel the need to let out energy, you can literally just jab your paintbrush against the canvas. I've gotten better at accepting grades that aren't perfect, or when a piece of art that I make isn't perfect, or when something I say isn't perfect. I've definitely gotten better at accepting where I'm at as opposed to where I think I should be.
We have crisis text lines, hotlines, warm lines, all kinds of resources in the United States that people can get access to help, but they won't ask because they're ashamed. And that's the piece that is, to me, one of the saddest parts.
Yes, some days are more difficult than others, and sometimes I'll fall back into old habits. Sometimes people fall back. That doesn't mean that I've failed. That just means that I'm a human being and that I'm moving forward, and I'm still allowed to mess up sometimes.